Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Sorry, I've been gone for a little bit, but I'm fighting this cold. I'm sure you can still hear it. So I apologize if the videos have been few and far between, but I'm on the tail end of it. Anyway, today I'm going to be answering some of your questions, such as what do I think is the future for Rolex models? Will they be taking more risk? And also, what is the difference that I've noticed between doing business in the watch world in Miami and in New York? All that and more in today's episode. Now, of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing my Piaget Polo 45 flyback chronograph GMT. Long history with this watch. Used to work for Piaget. Absolutely love it. And also, guys, don't forget to check out delraywatch.com. We got some pretty interesting pieces lately, including the very rare L'Aventure Marine. A small independent brand, sold out almost immediately. Never had one at Del Rey Watch. We got the first one in, and boy, is it a beauty. We also got in the Oris Cotton Candy Divers in bronze. Different colors, different bracelet options, all brand new from an Oris authorized dealer that went out of business, and we bought their stock. And the very interesting Grand Seiko chronograph GMT, one of the smoothest operating chronographs I've ever had the pleasure to play with. All at delraywatch.com, the best place for a watch geek to buy a watch. Link in the description below. Anyway, guys, these are some of the questions you've asked me. By this time, you know how it works. A few times a month on my Instagram account at Federico Talks Watches, a Q&A picture pops up. When you see that, feel free to ask. When I get enough questions, I take the picture down. Do not DM me. I do not check them. And in no particular order, let us start with Fabs Uno. And he says, "Hey Fed, what do you think of the Cartier Ronde Solo 42mm? Is it a good entry-level Cartier? I would love to hear your opinion." So what do I think? I think it's a beautiful watch, but I think it's a total piece of crap. Now, let me tell you why. The Ronde line, or sorry, not the Ronde line, the Solo line, rather, Tank Solo, Ronde Solo, they're very heavily cost-cut entry-level models. The straps are also the only straps in the Cartier lineup that are a different material. Wonder why that is. It's to save money. The case has very little detail, and so does the dial. It's just a flat printed dial. Big plastic movement spacers in the watches. Yes, you get the Cartier look, and the Cartier look for a lot of people is enough because Cartier's look is iconic. But the product itself is massively overpriced. If you can pick up a pre-owned one in like the mid-1000s, then yeah, it's a good deal. But other than that, I'd stay away from the Solo collection. Canary Views says, "Is Brigade the best bang-for-buck high horology brand? I recently picked up a 38mm Tradition with retrograde seconds for under 10,000 pounds. Couldn't be happier with it. I think it is a fantastic bang-for-buck high horology brand. Is it the best one? I don't know. There's a few great options. You guys know I love Brigade, and especially their classiques, massively undervalued. But with Blancpain, if you go with the VRA collection, also very undervalued, even though I like the Brigade more. Parmigiani, massively undervalued as well. Glasuta, still undervalued, though picking up as well. I think, particularly in the dress watch realm, you can get a lot of great high horology for a great bang per buck. Brigade definitely falls into that category, but you have a lot more choices than you would think." L Today 2. "Hey Fed, how important is it having your watch serviced by the manufacturer? I have a Chopard Happy Sport, and the service cost is steep." This is a great question. I would say it's not very important in most cases. If you need any case parts or dial parts, then yes, the manufacturer would be the only one that has that. So water damaged or a damaged dial, stuff like that, it has to go to the manufacturer. But if we're just talking a movement service, particularly in a Happy Sport, which is probably a Quartzetta, you can get that done for a fraction of the price at any decent independent watchmaker. Now, it's your job to find out if the independent watchmaker in your area is decent, but some Google reviews and just Googling their name should be enough for that. But for a base ETA watch like this, if it doesn't need any special parts, then I would say don't send it to Chopard. Get it done independently for way cheaper, and it'll get done usually a lot quicker. Sean Debutes says, "Hey Fed, Where do you see the future of Rolex? Do you see them taking any further risks, coming out with more dress watches, or playing it safe with their current offerings? So I think Rolex is the king of playing it safe. And it makes sense why. They're doing economically, financially, they're doing fantastic. You know, they're still the hottest watch brand, and even though prices are going down, they're going down for every other watch brand. I think when you're that comfortable at the top, it stifles innovation. And Rolex, let's face it, doesn't matter what the Rolex lovers will say, is one of the least innovative watch brands of the last decade or so, even longer than that. So yeah, I do not see them taking any further risks. I see more dial colors, material changes, stuff like that. You know, nothing to write home about. And guess what? Every boring thing they'll come out with, it'll sell itself. So as a company, Rolex is as happy as a clam. And, you know, I wish them well. So, but there's no incentive for them to innovate, and I don't think they will. And last but not least, Yannick Thibodeau. What is the biggest difference in doing business between New York and Miami? Well, at Delray Watch, I do business all across the country, but I have done a few local deals, and I did work retail in New York. I could say the biggest difference is, A, there's way more money in New York, even though it doesn't look like that. I'd say New York, when it comes to doing business and getting deals done, is a lot more substance, and Miami's a lot more flash. In New York, a guy in a tracksuit will come in, drop $100 grand on a watch, be gone in 10 minutes. In Miami, guy will pull up on a Lambo, negotiate 50% off or try on an Omega, want to drink your free champagne, all while calling you Papi, and then his credit card will get declined. I mean, listen, in all honesty, I just think it's a style thing. New York, the wealthy don't really want to stand out, whereas in Miami, it's all about standing out. I've found it to be a lot easier to do business in New York, where people value time, they just want a quick transaction, whereas in Miami, they want their rear end kissed. And listen, I get it, they're spending money, I understand, but I'm not working retail, I'm very lucky for that. But if I had to pick working retail on Fifth Avenue or working retail in Miami, I'd pick Fifth Avenue any day of the week, 2 weeks over for sure. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really does help. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more content. And of course, I'll catch you in the next one. Hopefully, well, I'm no longer sick. Take care.